Welcome to the Boston's Big Four podcast. Cast. New news about music and sports every week, sometimes.
And we're back. Episode 53, Boston's Big Podcast. Episode Kyle Van Noy, I believe we're going to call this one.
Sounds right.
We got a special guest in the building.
How you doing?
Aly Tran.
What's up, guys?
The real homie.
The real homie. Yeah, we go way back. Went to high school together, but he's been doing some interesting stuff lately, so we decided to bring him on to share his journey. You played in the Vietnam Basketball Association.
Yep. Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. I'm very happy to be here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, thanks for coming on. It's an awesome story, but you started before this. You were teaching kids.
Yeah, I was working at the Epiphany School. I actually graduated from there, so it's a great story.
It's a little closer. Sorry.
Oh, sorry about that.
You're good.
So yeah, I was working at the Epiphany School. I was coaching over there. Wanted to go back to school. Was looking for a whole bunch of different programs that was like basketball incorporated. I applied for this program called Shooting Touch. That program was gonna take me to Africa to do a whole bunch of missions work, and that was basketball related. Ended up coming like third place, and was like heartbroken. And I was like, damn, I gotta find something else. Like, I told my job I'm not coming back already.
So it was a competition in Africa?
No, it was actually a competition within the States. It was for college graduates who wanted to pursue like a career in missions work. It's called Shooting Touch. It's an initiative that would send like fellows over there to work in Rwanda. It was like build basketball courts, teach, coach.
Okay.
Yeah, we were watching your video about that on YouTube.
Yeah, and it looked like you actually went to Rwanda, it looks like.
Yeah.
No, I didn't go to.
Oh, you
okay.
did?
We thought.
No. The goal was to go to
Okay,
Rwanda.
yeah. We weren't sure through the context, but yeah, that makes sense. No, that's super interesting though, because I remember watching. Like I said, he's the homie. We've been following the Snapchat stories and everything for a while. You've been like bringing a lot of kids up, and just like in terms of technical ability, you're like coaching. Definitely, that must have translated when you came into the professional area. Like you were just so sharp at that point, sort of like a band who's practiced so much. You were tight, you know.
Whenever I went to those practices, I always put myself in a position as a leader, you know.
Yeah.
When I was there, I was always like, damn, what would the coach expect from me? What would the coach want to see out of me? Like, what can I bring to this team? That was my whole mentality when I was over there. And especially, I was teaching kids, middle school kids who were going to high school, that, you had to work hard and, things like this would actually happen.
Oh, yeah, definitely. You got to send the message. Send the right examples.
Are we good here?
No, we're good. Just checking volumes. Just checking levels.
All right. So, when did you first discover your love for basketball?
I gotta say, probably 9th grade.
9th grade, okay.
I didn't play basketball really up until 7th grade.
Oh, really?
No, I didn't know about the game of basketball till 5th grade.
Oh, okay.
All
Wow.
I had no idea about what basketball, what sports was.
Oh, wow.
The only game I knew about was kickball up until the 5th grade.
Really?
Really. Then I played soccer up until 7th grade. That was my first love. Then moved on to basketball, yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. So I would have, at this point, I had been assuming you were playing basketball your whole life.
That's what I thought.
So
No.
But
getting
you
cut
probably
from
got a
BC
ton of
High's
hours.
freshman team was one of the biggest. Oh my God, I suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, same, dude.
That's that.
I got cut
Michael
from the BCI freshman team,
Out of
too.
How many kids that tried out? It was like.
It was a lot.
So
It
many.
was a lot.
Dude,
But
those
there was
were
30
huge.
spots. There was
Yeah.
30 spots, and I was like, I can't get one of these spots. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That drove me crazy the whole freshman year. And
those tryouts were
oh
so
my God.
rigorous, though. Like, I remember when it happened, every kid was walking down in basketball shorts down to the gym. Like, it was a huge deal after school.
Oh, yeah,
I remember
yeah.
that.
Yep.
And,
some really good players didn't make it.
Yeah,
you know,
totally.
so.
And
What happened the
especially at
next year,
that
though?
age,
What
like.
happened the next year?
What?
I made the team. No one person on the freshman A team made the team next year
Yeah.
Really?
at all. It was the all freshman B, me, and Connor Mahoney, Nick Bovey.
Shout out Connor Mahoney.
Man.
Yep, that's the homie right there.
Yeah, the real homie.
Yes.
The other
He
one.
was a hell of a player.
Kobe, Todd,
Shout out
Gaten,
Lemoyne.
the homies.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, there was
Kobe
a lot of
Njoku.
talent. And honestly, like you were saying, so many people didn't even end up on the team. Like the amount of pickup sports that was happening at our high school was insane. Like of anything at any, we had free periods, so you had
Guys
people
were
playing basketball.
Intramurals.
Yeah,
For real.
intramurals went as deep as varsity sports. Like
Shout out to
there was
Zach
a lot going
Sogolo.
on.
Do you guys hear what he's doing?
Yeah, shout out Zach
Yes.
Sogolo out in the NBA.
Big shout out. Big shout out Zach Sogolo.
Big
Zach
shout-
He's
Sogolo's
up
a
to
big
up
homie.
to some big things. Yeah.
He gets the golden shout out, permanent shout out.
yeah,
forever.
yeah.
Just assume he's being shouted out at any moment.
We have to tag him in this. Yes, for
Seriously.
sure.
I don't even think he goes on social media.
No, actually,
Nice. Big deal.
Dude, I looked at his LinkedIn one time and I was like, dude, what the hell? Like, I messaged him. I was like, dude, what the hell? Like, good stuff.
Yeah.
And he messaged me back and was like, yeah, man, how you doing?
Yeah.
I just left it there. Should have said some more.
No, he's a great guy.
He is.
Yeah, especially to be working with the league like that. That's
Should get him on the cast.
yeah,
God,
that
that'd
would be
be-
amazing.
please.
Hey,
Even,
sound
even
off
if
in the
we just have
comments.
him, even if we just have him call in, like,
Yeah, sound
know?
off in the comments. We'll take you on satellite.
We'll do a conference
figure
call.
It out. Yeah. Oh, seriously. I mean, that environment though, just to bring it back, like dialing in your skills, like so.
Oh, yeah.
Just like beyond the coaching part, like so you're saying you learned, you sort of like got into basketball at what some people might consider a later stage.
that
and
is
then-
late. I mean, compared to most people, and like
Yeah.
considering the talent
and you
level,
made it to a professional level.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's
You
that's a
guys-
quick come up right there.
So
yeah.
I kind of joined like it was like I wouldn't say AAU because it wasn't AAU, but it was a travel team filled with, we was called MASAE, Massachusetts Asian Society Athletic Establishment. My coach at the time, Vinny, who I ended up starting Hardwood Jungle with, which is we work with athletes nowadays.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Vin pretty much does everything. I wish I can be more involved in the whole operation as he is, but I'm moving on.
It's all good. It's all good. Wait, shout out Hardwood Jungle. Check that.
Yes,
Hardwood
please.
Jungle,
Hardwood
yes,
Jungle.
that was the YouTube channel that the video was on that we watched.
Sorry.
No worries. When you first got in contact with the Vietnamese league, how was that? Someone in the States, or did they reach out, or did you find like a scouting program?
So I completely forgot. So got rejected
Sorry,
from the shooting.
A little
got,
closer.
Got rejected from the shooting program, shooting touch program. Then how did I find out about this? I think I had a girlfriend at the time. She was from Vietnam. She just came over here. She was like, I saw something like a tryout for like the Vietnamese national team. And then she sent me the flyer, and I was like, no way. Like, that's something I always want to do.
Yeah.
And it happened right in the moment of like, me feeling like, damn, I just lost this thing. Like, do I really want to like take a chance and go to California and like, and take this take this risk. There was like a whole bunch of things going on, but ultimately, she ended up buying me a plane ticket.
Awesome.
I went out there with my best friend, with my coach Vinny, and everything happened.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, and like we were saying, we were following that through Snapchat the whole time. Looked like you were on adventures. So
Yeah.
what is the infrastructure like of that league? Like how? So just obviously we see the NBA. It's a huge entity, and other countries are definitely bringing professional sports in, like especially the American focused ones are definitely kind of breaking out in other countries. So were they trying to emulate things from the NBA, or was it really its own thing? Or is
Most definitely. I thought one of the coolest things was when we got to California and the whole tryout, they brought ended up being my friend now, David, who was at the time like the star of like Vietnam. For him to show up and idol what it meant to be a Vietnamese basketball player, national player, and being at that tryout, like we all was going hard trying to impress this one dude.
Yeah.
Like we saw like Coach Dave Singleton was there. We saw Coach Anthony was there. He's the head coach of Great Britain now. Those guys were there, and we was just we tried to impress them.
Yeah.
My coach in Da Nang, he works with the NBA now. I saw a picture recently. He was working with LeBron James.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, shout out Coach
Cross
Johnson Hill.
pollination.
Damn.
Yeah, big shouts.
Yeah, no, basketball's definitely becoming more and more global every year, it seems like.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
The VBA definitely. They love the NBA. Everyone
Yeah.
over there loves the NBA.
And it's brand new. You were in the first season.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 2016 is when it started, right?
Definitely, it was definitely cool to be part of the first 7. To be selected to go over there. to build like a brotherhood between those guys. I still talk to
Yeah.
them all the time.
I mean, that's history. Like,
right,
that's,
and a lot of them
yeah.
are over there now, and they're all like franchise players. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
So the dynamics of this team, from what I understand, they take 2 foreigners and then the rest
Correct.
are local.
So and they have one import, and then they have one import player.
Oh, okay. I
that
thought
import-
maybe I was misunderstanding. So there's 3 people not from the country there?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So what they would call me was a VITQ. That's like a American Vietnamese person who came from the States over to who's living in Vietnam now.
Okay.
So they allowed 2 of those on the team. Yeah.
Okay.
And that was pretty much like the position I was fighting for.
And so how I might be ignorant here. How does that differ from an import?
The import is normally the center, like a 7-foot tall guy that can like dominate the game.
Oh, that isn't necessarily okay. It could be
Yeah.
the locals are from like the city, so they could be picked from another city, not necessarily another country.
Right.
I got
It's
you.
just from anywhere in Vietnam. They
Makes
had to have a
sense.
Vietnamese passport. And when they first introduced the whole idea to me, they told me, they was like, hey, Aly, if you get a Vietnamese passport and you can claim that, you can get a dual citizen, anything could have happened. I could have been on the national team. I could have,
So how did you do with the language?
I speak Vietnamese, yeah.
Oh, okay, so you are from the
I
Okay.
definitely learned a lot over there. When I first went over there, I wasn't like, I wouldn't say I'm fluent right now, but I didn't get as much until
Yeah.
I went over there.
Were you fluent growing up, or was that just something
I spoke it a little. My dad
Okay.
speaks fluent English. My mom always spoke Vietnamese to me. But,
Okay.
I speak a little Vietnamese. Yeah.
Nice. No, that must have made a huge help, because I mean, I'm thinking, just like first off, if the majority of the team, their first language isn't your first language, that's got to be difficult. But when it comes to sports, I mean, body language has to be huge. So
No,
lot
it took
of
me a
that-
while to catch up with the Vietnamese terms for like shoot and like pass
yeah,
and like
yeah.
when I was on the court, I kind of had to figure out like what does pass mean in Vietnamese, like to tell. to
Yeah,
speak
'cause
to,
it's
like,
not your
you know,
natural-
Exactly.
Right,
to speak
right.
to some of the guys who didn't speak English at all.
Yeah.
Because yeah, your first thing might be to go English, even though you
Right,
understand. Yeah,
Right.
True.
it's definitely it's like working with your left hand for a little while. That's interesting.
Yeah.
What was the level of competition like over there compared to what you've experienced in the States?
It's tough to say because when I first went out there, I went to Da Nang, and I honestly felt like I was one of the best players on the teams.
Mhm.
With the other, VQs. I think in Da Nang at the time when I was there, we had 4 VQs on the team fighting for the spot. But being like it was the first year, they said like they was gonna allow 3 of us to be on the court at one time, so probably 4 of us could have been on the team.
Yeah.
But when they first got me out there, they was like, hey, we'll just sign you as a practice player for now, and we'll see where the season goes. But in my head the whole time I was pretty confident. I was like, I'm about to
Yeah.
kill these dudes.
That
Like,
probably helped you get into it. Yeah,
the whole time that was my whole mentality going into it. Like I gotta kill right now. Like that was it.
yeah, and that's
Mamba mentality.
yeah. You
Oh,
got to go in
trust
ready
me.
to eat.
I
'em.
told everyone like when I first went out to that tryout, I was like, yo, I'm coming back the #1 prospect. Like,
Mamba mentality.
no, you can ask Patrick, you can ask Kevin. I told everybody that.
Yeah,
Hell
and
yeah.
I think that you
That's
said
awesome.
that ended up being the case. You were getting the ball majority of the time after a while.
Well, they picked out like Justin. They picked Horace. They all had their resumes.
Okay.
And then it was me who was like, I had no resume.
Mm.
I told them I walked on from Bunker Hill, but I couldn't play because I was ineligible at the time, and I had to work. I didn't have a BC High resume really.
Yeah.
I played JV a little bit, but not enough, to pull up like a highlight tape or anything like that.
Right.
Yeah.
All I had was just game, and like I was the loudest person at that tryout for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got to
Yeah.
stand out.
Right.
Can definitely make
right.
yourself shown, and you did the job. And so it sounds like you ended up when you had ended up on different teams after a certain point, right?
Yeah. When I first went to Vietnam, I was at the airport. I called Connor. He's the CEO of like the VBA, and he was like, "Yeah, we're gonna send you to Da Nang." And I was like, "What?" Like I told my family I was coming to Saigon. He's like, "Nah, we're gonna have you play for the Dragons. See where you go from there." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, I guess." And I ended up going to Da Nang.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So did that? How was the was there someone ready to take you, or did you just kind of have to figure yourself out?
When I got to the airport, it was like 2 a.m. in the morning. I had talked
How
to
long is that flight? Is it like
It was 24 hours.
24 hours? Where'd you stop?
I stopped in Dubai. That was dope.
Oh man,
I had a
your
fun.
options Dubai or Qatar or something, right? Or you
Yeah,
could go to
yeah.
like France. I don't know.
No, I think it was Dubai or you stop in Tokyo or something like that.
Oh,
I
okay.
chose Dubai. Yeah. So the
Must
whole
be
process
cool.
was crazy too. It was just like leaving California. He gave me a phone call when I was at the airport. He was like, "So when you ready to go out to Vietnam?"
Oh man, that's awesome.
And I was like, "Oh, I gotta kind of just figure out leaving Epiphany." So that was in May. The school was ending in June. The school year was ending, and I was like, "Yeah, I can probably head out there in probably July." And yeah.
Yeah, get yourself wrapped up and get out there. That's pretty cool.
Which player would you say you model your game after most?
I'd have to say Kobe.
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 So Kobe was your favorite player, you said.
For sure. No, undisputedly.
What'd you like about him?
What I liked most about Kobe was he was always a fighter.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy to say that, like, you know, I'm such a huge, like, Boston Celtics fan that, like,
Yeah.
my favorite player is someone on the Los Angeles Lakers. Like,
Yeah. That was common with Kobe though. Like you didn't have to be a
Right.
fan of the Lakers to be a
right,
Kobe fan.
Right. It
So-
was just all game. Like, you know, he can drop 30 in, like, 2 quarters, and it just happens so fast. Like,
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's what you just gotta have to admire the work ethic and the ability to produce. It doesn't matter whether that's on your team. I mean, that's honest. It's something to admire.
Yeah, and the thing I liked most about him was, like, when he first went in the league, and I just remember watching highlight tapes in high school. It was like, okay, he just dunked on everybody. He was great at that.
Mm.
But then he learned how to shoot. And
He
that
was
made
always getting better.
and
'Cause
exactly,
his work ethic
and
was
that
crazy.
and that made me want to, like, okay, like, everyone said I couldn't shoot in high school. Then, you know, what happened then? I just kept
Right.
on shooting.
Right.
You know? Like, it just happened.
Right.
Got to put the reps in.
What was it? Michael Jordan got cut from his high school team.
It happens.
It happens.
It happens.
Like Tom Brady was a 6th-round draft pick. It happens. What was I gonna
Popcorn.
say?
We pop at different times.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what it is.
What do you think about the Celtics right now?
Doing good. Fucking love Jason Tatum. Oops,
Jason
sorry.
Tatum.
I swear.
No,
No,
totally
you can
allowed.
swear. It's yeah, it's all
Awesome.
good.
Yeah, no, I love
No
Tatum.
rules.
Brown's balling out. Kemba's the man. Gordon's
Yes.
stepping up huge.
Yeah.
Tice looks like he's all right. We just got to fill the void. I mean, the center.
Oh yeah. We need a big man for
Um,
sure.
If we can sign someone real quick just to make that playoff push, I think we can, I think we can potentially get knocked out by the Bucks in the finals.
At least you're
We'll see.
optimistic.
We'll see. What do you think about Kyrie Irving?
Oh man, a lot of mixed emotions. about
Yeah,
Kyrie
yeah,
Irving.
yeah.
I love his game. I love Kyrie, man. Just that after game 2, dude, it was crazy. Game 2.
He gave up.
Oh my God, it was
He gave up.
the saddest thing I've ever watched in
Yeah.
sports.
But he
I
gave
didn't really
up.
care about the money I
And he
lost.
didn't really take
It was
accountability.
just
and
like,
it was
damn, you guys are really giving up, and like,
Yeah.
you came here to freaking lead these guys, and you're leaving. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you kind of knew after game 2, it was like, what? You
Yeah.
said you wasn't gonna shoot what did he shoot, like 7 for like no, it was like 3 for 20, something like
For
that.
26, something for 26.
And then he
like-
said he wouldn't do it again. Then he did something worse the next time.
Right.
It was like, you really tried.
And
to
they
prove a
basically
point.
said they brought up his shooting percentage, and he said, "Yeah, who cares?"
You try to prove a point.
When
in
he
the
said
Doesn't
playoffs.
all
matter.
season, just
Backfired.
wait for the playoffs, and then in the playoffs did nothing, and then he said, "Oh, who cares?" And then he left.
Oh, when he went to the Nets,
So-
bro, I've been told everyone that the Celtics are gonna have a way better record. Like,
Oh,
this
yeah,
year
yeah,
than the
yeah.
Nets.
The chemistry, the ball movement, everything's better this year.
Oh man,
Yeah, he
love
sounds
Denver.
like he's poison.
He is. He's ruining the Nets now too.
Cancel him.
What's
he's
the
ruining the
Nets?
The record
Yeah,
without
without
him
Ky-
is way better.
Right,
Than with
I was
him,
gonna say, what
which
is
was
that?
the Celtics case last year. So
100%.
yeah, it's not a good look.
How long, like, honest to God, how long would any league tolerate this? I mean, we sort of saw it with, I guess, not exactly the same, but Antonio Brown. Just like people are willing to sign the talent, but then you're like, how long are we going to deal
But he's
with
not
this?
as much of a problem as Antonio Brown.
Oh no, that's not
I
even
guess,
close.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's not even
And he's
close.
gone.
Yeah.
So,
His problems are on the court. Antonio Brown's problems are like
right.
just being a lunatic off
and they're
the field.
definitely not
and, like,
exact parallels, but I guess in terms of like teams or multiple teams like the league putting up with it, how long are they going to put up with these types of things? Like, before you're like one and done.
Oh,
like, you pull some
Kyrie's
some
been
stunts.
getting exposed these last couple of years, like
yeah,
big
like,
time.
Who's going to take him
Like
next?
the only
Oh my
time he
God,
was
I can't
successful is
imagine.
when he
Yeah.
had.
Someone will take him though. Someone will definitely take him. But
Yeah, someone
I feel like
desperate.
the whole shoulder thing right now is exaggerated too. I was reading on my phone.
Oh, because
today.
he doesn't want to come back to Boston. What is it, March 3rd?
Oh, that and like
He's skipping out again
the
twice
whole,
this
the
year.
whole indefinite
Twice
thing is
this
like,
year.
Damn, man, we just saw you drop 30
Kyrie's
like
not.
2 games.
Kyrie's scared to come to Boston.
Did you see what happened? He came back. He dropped 30. The next game he had like 12, and then didn't want to come back.
He's scared to come to
He's like,
Boston.
I can't drop 30.
He's
and
scared to come to Boston. He won't even go to Cleveland still. Like,
Well, he wants to go somewhere where they're winning. He thought the Nets had a good chance, but KD
not with him, they don't.
KD needs to come back.
Yeah. No, we'll see. I mean, the only time Kyrie was good is when he had LeBron to keep him in line. So maybe KD can do the same thing, but I don't know if KD's the same type of leader as LeBron. I
We
don't
just
know.
needed Kyrie on that when they won that like 18 game streak. We needed him like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know, ego.
Yeah. His first year here, we went on a 16-game winning streak,
Right.
like in the first couple months,
Right.
and everything seemed great. But it was really after he got
Bait
hurt
and
last
switch.
year.
How do you guys feel about Gordon Hayward? How do you guys feel about him?
Falling apart.
Gordon Hayward, I think he's been. I mean,
I
he's shown
honestly
flashes
haven't-
this year of being great. I think what was it, the first like couple weeks or almost month of the season, he was probably the best player on the team.
So
But he's been up and down. But when he's contributing, he can help us in a lot of ways.
I shouldn't have been so quick to say falling apart, because I know, like, as far as skill goes, he is like top tier. But I always look towards the injuries. I'm like, how does that happen? Like, when
He
one person
definitely
gets
is a
injured
little
multiple
fragile.
times, it scares me. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I say he's falling apart. Like, obviously he's out there producing, but like, is this Derrick Rose? Like, I don't know. Like, what's gonna happen?
Gordon Hayward is just, what is it, his last year? Next year's his last year? You
Yeah.
think he'll resign?
Yep.
I felt like
I
it
don't
went
know.
fast.
That's up in the
That
air.
went by
Like,
fast, right?
Yeah.
Well, Horford was in and out. Happened
Mm.
so fast. I wish we could have got
Yeah.
more out of him. At least
Yeah, I
the
remember
finals
watching
ran out.
I
his
mean,
legs
he turned his back on us. You know,
Yeah. Zach
wanted
took
to-
him. Zach Soglo took him.
Saglo, seriously.
took him,
Should we
bro.
reverse this golden shout out? Oh my god. That was fast too.
Saglo took Horford from us.
Soglo took Horford from us, man.
That's crazy.
Whatever, you can keep him.
No, he can. We don't need Horford.
That's
We
fine
don't need to
with me.
pay him another $100 million.
Average Al. Average Al.
Uh,
No, Horford was good, but he clearly had no allegiance to the Celtics. He just kind of dipped out. The Sixers are kind of a big rival at this point.
We wouldn't have gave him that money anyways.
No.
No way.
He's not worth
No
that.
way.
He's not worth that.
I would love a return of IT.
Although we
though.
could use him right now. But IT, yeah. IT
I would
would
love
be
IT
nice.
coming off the bench.
Hell yeah.
Develop the young guys in the D League. I think we just give them too much time right now.
Mm.
We're trying to win and secure a better spot in the
Yeah,
playoffs.
man. Nothing bothers me more than when we draft players and they're in the D League for 2 years and then they never then they're gone. It's like, well,
Oh, yeah.
it's
Oh
a
my
waste of a
God.
draft pick. It's
Yeah.
like, why did we?
But the Celtics are known for drafting some great players, though.
Yeah. What do you think about them not making a move at the deadline?
Stupid.
I think so too.
They should have
dude.
done something, dude. If they that means they don't want to win this year.
Yeah.
That's what that means. They're waiting for next
Like
year.
clearly,
they don't wanna win this year.
they need a big man, and they did nothing. So
They can't take this team and think they're gonna beat the Milwaukee Bucks in 7
No.
games. That's being honest.
no.
I'm the biggest Boston fan. Anyone can say it.
Yeah, but you got to be honest.
Right.
Like
Mm.
the Bucks, what's their record right now? They're ridiculous this year. They're absurd.
I did go to the Boston Celtics game this year where we beat the Bucks, but
That was early in the season.
early in the season
Yeah.
they were down 20.
That was
something.
probably the most fun game, and the one where we beat the Lakers.
That was dope.
Those are the two best
Oh,
games of the
when
year
we
so
blew
far.
out the Lakers.
And we
Yeah.
blew out the Lakers. That was amazing.
Mhm.
And Jalen dunked on LeBron.
Yep.
That was nice.
I think Jalen dunked on Giannis that game too against the Bucks. That was-
Yeah.
Disrespectful.
He dunked on Giannis in the playoffs last year, too, in Game 1.
Yep.
And we
yep.
blew him out before we lost 4 in a row. It happens.
Yep.
Shouldn't, but it does. Yeah, so what do you think their chances are this year? You said conference finals?
Yeah.
Okay.
Conference finals. It can go to Game 7.
It could.
It could.
I mean, I'm not convinced. I don't think the Bucks are as good as the record indicates. I think come playoff time,
Didn't they just pick up? They just picked somebody up. Someone really good. A shooter.
did they?
Yeah.
Shooter?
They just acquired somebody.
Kyle Korver?
No.
No, the Bucks are good, but after Giannis, it's Middleton is their second best player, right?
Middleton's been balling, man.
He's good,
He dropped 50 this year.
but that's true. He's good. I feel like the gap between Giannis and Middleton is pretty big, though. Like I feel like they're
Bledsoe's pretty good.
Drew Bledsoe.
Lopez has been all right too. Wesley Matthews is nasty.
Wesley Matthews, yeah.
I can keep going.
I mean,
George Hill, right? George
yeah,
Hill on
he's
that
all
team?
right. He's all right. Yeah, he's good.
He hits big shots.
Yeah.
That's good for playoffs. That team is just getting too complete. It's crazy. Like,
Yeah.
They're doing some pretty good things over there, GM wise. I just wish the Celtics were doing. Well, the Celtics, they're doing the good things right now.
I mean, you can't complain. Like
Yeah,
overall,
exactly.
when you look
You
at the
can't
big
complain.
picture, you can't really complain.
Right.
But yeah, I wish they did something at the deadline.
Oh God, I was hoping we get like
People need to stop calling
Kevin Love
Danny
or something
Ainge
like that.
Trader Danny, first of all,
right.
because he hasn't traded anyone the last few years. Like he's not doing that anymore.
His
so-
last trade was what, Kyrie?
Was it? Yeah.
Last big trade, I think.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything else.
His last trade at the deadline was Isaiah Thomas. I'm pretty sure.
Man, that broke my heart, but I was pretty happy.
That's
about
crazy.
It's crazy that it broke my heart, and I was so happy about Kyrie, and it sucks that like what happened, because we thought Kyrie was gonna be here for a while. You know what I mean? That sucks.
Yeah. I mean, Kyrie. Yeah, I was pumped when we got Kyrie,
Oh, for sure.
but
I was in Vietnam when we got Kyrie.
yeah, they did Isaiah dirty though.
Oh, 100%.
Like-
Oh my God.
There's no oh my god. He was talking about back up the Brinks truck. He wanted the max deal
Oh, I told.
Then he ended
everybody
up with
when
the
he said
minimum.
yeah. Oh my God.
in Denver, but he's worked his way back. He's getting some minutes with Washington now.
No, didn't he get waived? He got waived. He got
Oh shit.
traded and waived. To the
Oh no, that's right. He did the other day.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't
He
know.
gave up his teeth for this game, if I recall correctly.
For this franchise.
Yeah. People
He
better
did a
give
lot.
him some
He
cash.
did a lot. He gave up morning time. He gave,
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
only imagine, going through what he went
I
through.
mean, dropping
Yeah.
53 on his sister's birthday, like a week after she passed away.
oh
Like,
my God.
dropping 52 the same season. He averaged 29 a game that year.
The Celtics was for sure underdogs in that series, right?
Yeah.
They had to have been. Didn't we have like Jared Sullinger?
No, that was after Sullinger, I think.
Was it?
But we had like Kelly Olynyk and
You're right.
all
Kelly
those
Olynyk.
scrubs.
Yep.
Jay Crowder,
Yep,
Jonas Jerebko. Like,
What was we doing in the Eastern Conference Finals?
seriously. Being led by some 5'9" point guard.
Right.
Like,
Oh boy.
damn.
Averaging 30 a game.
That's crazy. I always root for the little guys, the short
you
guys.
Gotta. You gotta.
You
Play
gotta.
the hardest.
Allen Iverson. One of the GOATs. You an AI fan?
I'm an AI fan. More of a Kobe fan.
Yeah.
The funny thing, I remember coming home the day Kobe died, and my roommate, he knows how big of a Kobe fan I am. He out of all people would know, because we've been playing ball forever. But he's like, yo, dude, like, I know you was a Kobe fan. I was an AI fan.
Wow. Take the opportunity to say I'm not as sad as you.
yeah.
right,
I thought
right.
that was hilarious when he was like,
Uh.
you was a Kobe fan. I was an AI fan. But
Yeah. I mean, I'm not like I wasn't like I always respected Kobe so much, but I wouldn't call myself a Kobe fan because I hated the Lakers.
Mhm.
But I loved Kobe's like work ethic and I admired him and all that. And I'm like a diehard Celtics fan. Like Paul Pierce is my all-time favorite basketball player, and seeing Pierce's reaction like broke my heart. You know what I mean?
Right,
Because I'm
right.
like, because you just saw how sad everyone was about it.
It's shocked
Like,
the world.
it's-
I mean, I
yeah.
felt like
Yeah.
the world didn't move for like 3 days, honestly.
Yeah,
if I'm
it was
being honest.
amazing. It was
There's
like
murals everywhere. It was pretty nuts.
it
the other
was
day when I
insane.
saw like they'll finally laid him to rest, I was like, what? Like this can't be real. Like I thought
Yeah.
that was a dream. Like
Yeah.
still,
It's
The-
still
the the Lakers' first game in the LeBron speech and everything.
oh man,
That shit.
dude, I made sure I watched that. to
I
be
was
honest.
watching it
I made
live.
sure.
Yeah,
I was like,
dude, the
oh,
tribute, the whole
Is that the one with
tribute.
Dr. Dre? Or is it
No,
something
that's
else?
something
Was
newer.
the All-Star weekend?
Yeah,
Was
that's
that-
this
okay,
was a
yeah.
couple weeks ago.
This was
Okay,
when
missed
the
it.
Lakers' first home game
Lakers' first home
after
game.
they postponed that game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god, that was crazy. It was like, yeah, such a tragic event.
Yeah.
Really affected people who aren't even sports fans.
Mm. Oh, it definitely
Anybody.
went beyond sports.
He was
It
the
definitely
Michael
went.
Jordan for us, Just-
Absolutely. Yeah, for our generation. Yeah.
Yeah, well, they were gonna. Isn't that what they were talking about, or was it? Was he gonna be in the new Space Jam?
No, I think it's LeBron.
Oh, was it LeBron?
I think it is
man.
LeBron.
Well, they
Yeah,
could have
it's
argued
LeBron.
him then. That's frustrating.
People want him to be the new logo now, though.
Yeah.
I agree. I think it's. I
I
wouldn't mind it.
mean, I don't see why not. It wouldn't. No reason.
I think, honestly, in my eyes, he's one of the greatest of all time. I take Jordan, but
I mean, I'd put him ahead of Jerry West, so
oh, for
there
sure.
you go.
Put them both in the prime 1-on-1.
Yeah.
We know who's coming out.
Dude, Jerry West's reaction killed me. Oh my god, did you see
Oh
him?
my God, that was heartbreaking.
Dude, he's like
Oh my
breaking
God.
down like
How old is this guy?
he
Like,
literally
fine,
said he was like,
you
I don't
kidding me?
think I can like get over this. And this is a guy who's like on his last days. And it's like
Oh my God.
he doesn't even want to live anymore. I was like, and seeing Shaq too. Shaq was crying. Man, all that stuff killed me.
It's crazy to think
It
about
was
the
like-
impact he had on everyone. Like,
Yeah.
you know, you think about.
I've never been like that sad about a celebrity dying before, to be
Oh,
honest.
never. Nothing.
Never.
Anything ever like this.
It
Never.
was weird.
Shaq said it right too. He was like, you know, he looks up to all the, you know, the legends and greats, and he sees them. You know what I mean? At all-star
Mhm.
times, he sees like Will. He sees like, you know, those guys.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, this never happens.
Yeah.
Hmm. Do we have to do some paperwork?
Might have to.
Yeah.
We'll take an intermission. We're back.
We're back.
Did we do our paperwork?
We did do.
All right. Everything's filed?
It's filed.
Okay.
I think it's locked.
Yeah.
We got to find that key.
All right.
Paperwork's done.
Everything's under control.
Yeah.
Little more about the VBA. Just so you said you found out, obviously it just came into existence in 2016,
Correct. Yeah.
but what did it mean to you to participate in something like that?
For me and all my friends, like in my community, like it meant like everything. Honestly, growing up, we always knew we was capable of playing basketball and that we was pretty good. But for me, it was like, wow, I can play at this level.
Yeah.
And then being introduced to the whole team and like meeting the whole organization and like being behind the scenes made everything just kind of like a dream come true.
Yeah. I mean, the way you describe it and everything that you went through, it really seems like it's a unique experience that like not a lot of people get to go through. It kind of had the feel of being. I mean, you were a professional basketball player, so
Right,
it's
and,
kind of that's a unique feel to have.
Unique's a
Basically,
good word to use because a lot of people don't understand what it takes to be a pro basketball player.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
especially like behind the scenes of if I'm not a 5-star athlete or a 4-star athlete or a 3-star athlete, there's opportunities anywhere.
right?
But then again, you got to think about life other than basketball. You got to pay your rent. You got to do this. You got to do that. Like, can I really like have a life and play basketball like, and make it work somehow? Because these are like the most critical years of your life. Pretty much you're figuring out what to do with your life. You know what I mean? And for a lot of guys nowadays who who just got out of high school, they don't get picked up by the college team that they want, or they don't advance. A lot of people go overseas, and some people don't understand like how hard it is to actually to get a contract and stuff like that.
Right. Because a lot of people don't even try.
Oh,
It's
no.
like
leaving high school, that was never even in the plans. Never in a million years.
I mean,
would have thought.
yeah, really.
It seems like the stars sort of align too, because it's your home country and that you spoke the language
it's
in
crazy.
the first place.
Yeah.
I was practicing like 10 minutes away from my grandma's house.
Yeah.
So like after practice, I go have dinner with my grandma, or like midday, I just go see her.
Oh, so you
That's
actually
awesome.
had family there.
So you had
Oh,
family
yeah.
right
Oh,
by.
okay.
Yeah, I have a lot of family.
Okay, so yeah, that makes it even better. That's awesome.
And that was the whole best experience about it too. Being able to go home and tell them like, hey, I'm about to play for your national team. Like,
Yeah.
that was dope.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm sure. And like you were saying, we said this off mic. I guess like the whole aspect of being an American there too is probably held to a different regard because you're one of a couple people on the team
Right.
that aren't from the country.
Right.
And
no, but I mean the locals, they were ruthless. Like they were like they knew I had an ankle injury, but like they were fighting to like feed their families. To be honest.
Okay.
When you're in Vietnam, like, and the sports team is telling you like in your local, they're like, hey, we'll give you $500 a month. You play for our basketball team. That's double more than what someone's working on a farm's making.
Yeah.
or like working on a stand or even in the mall, something like that. Because, you know, I had cousins over there who were making $200 a month, and they were working like 9 to 5s,
Wow.
you know, and only getting $200 a month.
Yeah.
So those guys were playing, they were balling hard, trust me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's obviously you saw a lot of passion,
Yeah.
passion for the game, passion to get
Right.
better, and
And when I got
It
there,
comes
the game
from-
wasn't even that developed,
Yeah.
as it has in the past 4 years, I would say. I would say the interest level, like, you know, skyrocketed by 1,000 maybe.
yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of basketball fans in Vietnam.
It's growing for sure.
It's growing.
I would say soccer's still like the favorite sport,
Yeah.
but basketball's growing for sure.
So
Yeah.
how big are the stands? Like, is it, I guess in comparison, like, is it like college size, high school size, or stadium size?
We practice at the Canadian International School.
Okay.
I'm thinking that was like either high school or college, but it was pretty big. I mean, it probably at the game that I played in probably had about 2,000 people maybe.
Oh, damn.
Okay.
That's a lot.
Probably just around then, probably. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a good sized crowd.
Yeah.
And there's probably, I think, isn't there, we said there was like 15 people on a team?
Yeah, there was 15 people on the team, 2 Vietnamese Americans, and 1 import. Could have been anybody.
Yeah. And so the number of games in the season is lesser than we expect from the NBA also, right? So
Yeah, the season's probably like 18 games. It's
Oh,
about
okay, wow.
4 months maybe.
That's
Maybe a
short.
little more than 18 games, probably 20
Yeah.
something,
Okay.
24 games maybe.
That's the regular season.
Yeah.
are there any notable like rule changes in the scale of that, or is it just is it all same like as
I think
US?
the next coming year they're having 7 teams instead of 6, but they had it like 4 teams advance to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Then it'll go whole little best out of 3 games, and the finals will be like out of 5 games.
okay.
Crazy. My first year, Da Nang ended up winning the whole thing. I was on them, and they faced off against Ho Chi Minh City Wings, and I was on that team too.
Wow.
Wow.
I could have easily walked away with a ring if I just stayed healthy.
Nice. Hey, could still happen. We'll get you back.
Yeah.
Sound off in the
Never know.
comments.
How's the
Keep getting
league developed in the 4 years since it's
Oh,
started?
it's crazy. If you look on Facebook, they probably
Yeah.
have like 750,000 followers, something like that.
Oh, shit.
When I first, when I was one of the first posters on there, it probably only had like 10,000.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So
and then-
you've seen it from the ground up. Jeez.
Oh my God, yeah. I seen it before the league even expanded. I remember like Googling like Vietnam national team, and I saw like the name like who's David Arnold or who's like, who's the coach, to ended up going to actually meeting them there.
So before it became the VBA, there was like a league going on.
So
in
they
the
had
team.
like a national team called the Saigon Heat originally, and then the Saigon Heat made the VBA pretty much happen.
Okay.
Oh, so Saigon Heat would play other countries?
Yeah, and they played in the ABL, and that's where OJ Mayo plays now.
All right.
Okay.
I'm not familiar with all the other leagues.
I was
so-
wondering where OJ Mayo was these days. I was thinking about that the other day.
The crazy thing, if I was on the Saigon Heat right now, I'd be playing against OJ Mayo.
Damn.
He's playing for the Fubon Braves. I think that's a team in China.
Okay.
But
So when do you see other Americans that like on other teams that are like that you could recognize at any point, or I guess we probably would have realized that.
well, last year's Saigon Heat team had a kid from UMass Amherst that I knew. I didn't know him, but I knew of him because
Yeah.
my best friend went to UMass Amherst, and he always played ball around that
Huh.
group of people. He ended up being the center for the Saigon Heat.
Wow.
It's a small circle. This basketball world's really small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once you go overseas and start talking about people, this person knows that person. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a great experience. And I've been saying you got to write a book or something about this.
Definitely got to write a book.
Yeah, we'll get it out there. Sound off
Yeah.
in the comments if you'd buy the book.
Definitely.
It's happening. So did you know? You said you were looking up the league and you had found the players like before it was the VBA.
Mhm.
Was it officially the VBA when you became involved, or were they talking to you like
No, like,
before
wh-
teams?
I was there like when they were posting like predictions of like the logos of what the teams would be like
Wow.
for the VBA.
Wow.
Did you have any say? Did you get to vote on anything?
No, I didn't. I didn't have no say whatsoever.
Okay,
I
that'd
just
been
remember
awesome.
like coming back from California, and they put me on like one of their flyers, and there was like, we have some great Americans coming over, and I was like pretty gassed up. I was like, oh my
Yeah.
God.
That's awesome.
I thought
Yeah,
that was
that
pretty
is
cool.
awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah, I remember because like kind of seeing the whole thing, I was like, oh, there's a Vietnamese basketball league, and like I was seeing all the posts about it, and then I went and I'm looking up the roster, and your face was on there. It just seemed so
It was
real
surreal.
when I saw you finally. I was like, oh my
Man,
goodness.
I remember when Kev drove me to the airport, I was literally like in tears. I was like, yo, what am I about to do right now? I'm about
Yeah.
to get on this plane. Like, what's my next move? Like,
That's
you
a
know,
big leap of faith.
just, you
But
know, I had
that's
no idea
awesome.
what I was doing.
Yeah.
22 years old, just let's take the step.
But to represent your home country, though,
Right. And,
That's-
for my parents, escaping Vietnam and, like,
Yeah.
after the war and for me to go back on these good terms, it was my
Mm.
first time back since I was, like, 3 years old.
wow, that's awesome.
So
That's
it was
good.
cool.
That's amazing.
And so, are you used to so you guys probably did like home style cooking growing up. Was
Yeah, yeah.
it similar or like was it totally different when
It was
you
just
actually
weird going
got
over
there?
there buying, like, rice and chicken in a bag for 50 cents.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But, I enjoyed the whole experience. The food was amazing. The weather was great. I remember that first week how hard me and, some of my teammates went when I was, 100%. It was dope.
Yeah, it's cool. I'm always curious what the food's like in other places because especially as an athlete, like
Oh,
that
man.
totally matters what you're putting into yourself. And you probably, like since
That's
you're
something you
familiar
gotta
with
think
that
about,
food,
yeah.
you might have wanted to go a little hard on some of the maybe more indulgent stuff.
Oh, no, I loved everything.
Yeah.
I could eat anything, especially Vietnamese food. They have the best food in the world, honestly, in my opinion.
Mm.
It's just healthy. I know it's made on the street, but, can't get better authentic food anywhere.
Yeah, and someone brought. So I work with there's a Vietnamese woman on my team, and she brought in a century eggs to work. And did you have century eggs while you were over there
Is that like the egg that's like hard?
in
and
the
then-
clay?
Yep, yep,
yeah, yeah.
yep,
I
yep.
was
It's
so
like salty on the inside.
yes.
I don't know about this.
So okay, everyone, lesson in is it specifically Vietnam or is it just Asia?
I think it's all Asia, actually. All
Yeah,
Asia.
so they found out that there's like some compound in clay that if you pack an egg in clay and like let it sit for I think it's a week or something minimum, the clay like has radiation in it that cooks the egg. So the egg like is preserved and stays cooked in the clay. And they have them in like buckets in markets and you just crack them open and it's like a cooked egg.
It's a hard-boiled egg that's really salty.
Yeah, it
That's
has
the only
like
way
a
to
deep
explain
isn't it? It's
that.
like black,
Okay.
right? Or it
Yeah,
has
some are black, some are really like hard yellow.
yeah, I think we had
Interesting.
ones
some
that
are
were
red.
green.
Some are red.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Or the yolk probably gets red, I think, because like we're used to yellow yolks. I think natural yolks are more red. Everyone,
Okay.
lessons today. But yeah, no, that stuff's really
So-
cool. And I honestly, century eggs it's like a on-the-go protein kind of thing. Like you
Oh,
probably
yeah.
bring
Oh
those
my
to
God.
games and
Yeah.
stuff. Like that's
No, I used to eat hard-boiled eggs like 2 or 3 every morning just for breakfast. 'Cause
Yeah.
that was the best thing.
Damn.
yeah, that'll get you
Hard-boiled
going.
eggs. So what would you say the style of play was like compared to like the way the NBA is right now, how kind of everyone shoots threes?
Right. Over there,
There's kind of not really like defined positions as much anymore. There's not really like the standard centers and power forwards who stay in the post. Like, is
Right.
it kind of similar to that?
well, over there, they literally looked for the biggest players because
Yeah.
Vietnamese men, our average height is probably like 5'5", 5'6".
Okay.
So they look for the biggest guys, and they literally just try to train them how to shoot.
Yeah.
When I went over there, I was like, damn, everyone's really raw. Like, they literally just picked up this dude who's probably doing like construction on the side, and just like, hey, come to our practices. Like, you're 6'2", just put the ball in the basket.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was really raw at the time when I was over there, and that's why I was telling everyone, I was like, dude, I'm gonna cook. If this is the competition, like,
Yeah.
I was telling them like I was gonna kill it, like, just based on how my game is, or what especially seeing like the guys at the tryout, what they ended up doing. But for competition, I'll just say everyone can shoot really.
So it's similar to the NBA nowadays.
Yeah, you wouldn't-
basically.
You wouldn't see like a Steph Curry or a Kyrie Irving,
Right.
or like a Westbrook type of player over there. You'll
But
see,
what are like do the big men shoot? So everyone shoots.
So if you was an import, you was expected to drop 30 and grab about 15 rebounds.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You was
Yeah.
expected that.
Yeah.
You're about 6'10". You're going into the paint with 4 Vietnamese men. You better dominate. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, you
better.
probably don't need to shoot from the
you play
outside if you're
division-
6'10"
You
at
played,
that point.
Division 1 basketball, like you better be good. Like
Right.
you better drop 30 in this game, dude. Like
Right.
we're paying you so much. Like you better come in here and just put on a show for everybody.
Yeah.
Because that's why I feel like the import players always are. They're really there to put on a show to make the competition a little bit more, better.
Yeah, well, import just sounds fancy. You can tell me you imported some just like regular Hostess cupcakes, and I'd be like, something's different about these. You know what I mean?
It's true. I mean, imported cars are always fancy.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, you always know who the import was too. Like he walks in the building, oh yeah, that you know why he's here.
Covered in
Mhm.
Supreme, just like.
Yeah.
You got to see
Yeah.
them on a moped. Oh my God, it's the funniest
Oh,
thing.
boy.
Imagine a 7-footer on a moped.
Oh, dude,
Trying to
did
get
you
around.
guys? How often were you guys in open traffic? Because it's dangerous out there, right?
Oh,
like
every
as
single day.
athletes, you.
I mean, when we was in Da Nang, we was traveling like 30 minutes to the practice facilities alone.
Man.
I remember like I was just going around the rotary and like this car opened up and I had to swerve around him. Then I looked back and my boy wasn't there and I thought he was like gone.
Where was he?
On a separate moped, or was
had
he
to,
hanging?
like, avoid it too, but I was looking around for him. I'm like, oh my God, Anthony, where you at?
Oh my God.
Is it also? I know in other places it's like flashing lights means I'm going, and beeping isn't rude. It's just to say I'm here. Like it's. Is it like that at all? Or?
I think in Vietnam it's just all eye contact.
Oh, so you're just glaring people
You're going
down.
straight and you're just like, hey man, hopefully you don't hit me and I don't hit you. Like,
Yeah, because there's like viral videos out there of people just walking through
There's a
traffic
hilarious
steadily,
video of
and
me,
everyone goes around them.
there's a hilarious video. My friend sent me in Da Nang my first like day there after I get out the airport. I tried to cross the street and they were just like there. They were already there for like a month, so they were used to it. And they were just recording like, yo, Aly, cross the street. And I'm like, hell no, I ain't crossing the
Yeah,
street.
yeah, you're like I'm gonna die.
Yeah, it was like crazy. It was just like crazy. It was just everyone was going forward. I'm just standing on the other side, and they're like, "Yo, come on!" And I'm like, "No way, no way.
No.
Yeah.
You can't pay me to cross the street right now." And they're like, "All you have to do is take one step at a time. That's it, one step at a time." But I'm like, "You take that one step, you're dead."
Yeah, no, it's definitely not like the wide sidewalks of the U.S. and serious insurance laws.
No, a good friend of mine.
We do have very wide streets compared to like everyone else.
Yeah,
In Da Nang, it would flood a lot. So I heard
Yeah.
a story one time. Horace, who's the captain of Da Nang's basketball team, he's a buddy of mine. He was in California. He couldn't play in the game because he got into a motorcycle accident because of the
boy.
rain.
Damn.
Like that's the stuff like that happens in Vietnam that like gets like.
Are the roads big enough? Like, could you guys have a bus, or are you guys just all in different places? Like, you
We
can't go to.
was all scattered. There's a lot of locals.
Okay.
It was more organized when I went to Saigon. Like the Ho Chi Minh City Wings, they had like a designated bus for all of us to meet up at and then to go to the games, opposed to like Da Nang. It was a little more like the countryside.
And so, I guess like you were saying, like the geography of those different places was notable. Like one was probably more city-like, and the other's more rural. Or
Yeah, Da Nang was like an island, kind of. It wasn't an island, but it was like a coast that had a beach. So it made it more like using Miami.
Okay.
Saigon was kind of like Saigon was like the Celtics, and then like Ho Chi Minh City was like the Knicks.
Okay.
And then then you had like the teams like Hanoi. There's 2 teams up there, and you can consider those guys as like the Lakers or something like that, just all the way across the other side of the
Yeah.
country.
Hmm.
And then they would travel back and forth between the two.
Damn. Yes, you really got the professional basketball experience.
Yeah.
I did, but I want to get the whole full season in. I
Yeah.
want to show everybody like.
So how much did you play?
I played one preseason game, then called it because
Oh, okay.
it was literally like right after that game. I was like, yo, I loaded myself with like painkillers before playing that game. And
Yeah.
afterwards, I was like,
It's
dude,
not worth it.
Yeah.
I talked to the coach before the game. He's like, "Are you good? Like, what's going on?" Like, the commissioner walked up to me before the game and was like, "Aly, like, what you doing here? Like, what's going on?" Like,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Dude, he asked me to play," and I was like, "Yo, I'm playing." I wrapped up my ankles, took a whole bunch of painkillers. Then the next day,
How did the painkillers affect your performance?
dude? I sprayed my foot with like icy hot, like all the way around. I had the brace on. I was just trying to
Yeah.
make sure like nothing breaks while I was in that game.
So I don't know if we've said this on air, but what was the extent of the injury? Like, what were you working through at this point?
So it ended up being a tear like at the top of my foot that like every time I took a step I couldn't. It was great.
Damn, and you played a game with that pain.
I didn't play
like
a
a
full
f-
game. They actually
Okay.
So when I went into the game, we was like down by 7 in the third. I played for the last 5 minutes in the third. I left. We was up by like 7, and then at that point, like the coach asked me to go back in the game. I was like, I don't know. Like I don't think I can do this.
Yeah. Well, that's scary. I mean, you had
My last moment in
tendon
the
damage.
VBA, I hit it. I mixed somebody and hit a 3. That was my last moment ever on the court.
There you go.
Wow.
Yeah, I think
Ended on a strong note.
in that 5 minutes I played, I had like 3 points, 2 steals, 2 rebounds, 2
There you go.
assists.
There you go.
My efficiency was like 17. Stephen blocked the hell out of me. I was like 50%, but that was
Yeah.
about it.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome to be able to, like, for that time you had, you can point to at any point to be like, hey, I produced. Like, bring me back here.
Yeah.
Just an
I
injury.
keep telling everyone, I'm like, dude, please put me back in that environment. I would absolutely kill these young guys.
Yeah, no,
It'll
we
happen.
got this. We'll rehab
It'll
you,
happen.
get you out there.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Yes, sir. Nah, no maybes.
No maybes,
No
yeah.
maybes.
Nah, people don't understand. You know, life is hard afterwards. You know, you can't just coaching.
Right, yeah. There's a lot that goes into, like
Yeah.
you were saying, what it takes to be a professional athlete, and
Right.
the place in your life you were at that time might not line up with life goals now.
It's crazy
so-
that I'm 26 now. You know, like life just flies by. That happened when I was 22. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier, just how the years are getting, like 7 years feels like nothing now.
Oh my God,
You know,
yeah.
It's like,
Oh my God, yeah. The time, I mean,
Getting
having
old.
known each other in high school, it feels like we just knew each other.
Oh
Like,
my God,
yeah.
yeah.
it's crazy.
yep.
So, there was something I wanted to ask. Oh boy. No, I wanted to do a quick shout out. We're gonna link the video that details Aly's time before before going to Vietnam, because you
Yep.
did an awesome video, just explaining like how you worked with the kids and
Oh, the
before
shooting
Rwanda.
touch video.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
That was a good
Yeah.
video.
Oh,
It was
no.
a
I was
really
gonna say
good
that
video.
explains sort of some of your path before you got there.
Oh, that was
so.
one of
Yeah.
the most heartbreaking things ever. Oh my God. I remember telling Shooting Touch wanted to do an event at Epiphany, the school that I worked at, and I was like, no way, they can't do it there. And it was like, I was so bitter and mad about it, but I was like, wait, why would I not let them do a
Right.
fundraiser there?
Of course,
Yeah.
But no, definitely.
Yeah,
if I
that
can-
music, the audio you picked, real tear jerkers. So just warning everyone now.
It's been a long day.
Yeah, that's one of them. That's without you.
It was a great video, though.
Oh, you gotta put the one where the 3-point I was talking about.
Oh yeah.
That's probably the highlight of my life, man.
Wait, that video's up?
The one of me shooting the 3.
Yeah.
Oh, is there
Yeah.
footage of you playing? Okay, yeah, we'll
Okay.
find that. Yeah, we'll definitely link that out. We were trying to get some league footage before, so we weren't.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. I got a few things I can show you guys.
Word.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll link that out. Sound off in the comments if you can find any bonus footage.
Yeah. Find it
Looking
yourselves,
Yeah.
lazy motherfuckers.
Yeah, stop making us do work. We're putting out a whole podcast for you guys.
No, we'll link it. We'll link it for sure.
So, do you have any other? You're coaching still?
No, I actually just I'm transitioning right now. I actually just gave up the whole coaching thing. Just decided to take a break to pursue this career in real estate.
No, that's fair.
Yeah.
There you go.
There's definitely a lot to go around right now.
Chase the bag.
Right.
Back up the Brinks truck.
Secure the bag.
No,
Yeah,
I
secure the
definitely
bag.
will be coaching throughout my entire life. Just right now, I want to take a couple months to myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, another
Gotta
round
do
will
what you
take
gotta
it
do.
Mm.
But one day you'll be back in that league, and
Oh, for
you'll
sure.
tear it up.
definitely. VBA 10 season maybe.
Yeah, it sounds like you got in at the right time too, where it was so early.
Well, you
on.
got your
Oh,
foot in
right,
the
yeah.
door, like right as they were becoming a thing. So
Yeah.
it's
Right.
like,
Well, I mean, when I think the week before I left Vietnam, I was having lunch with like the CEO of like the whole league, and I was like,
see,
dude.
so you made those connections.
So I was kind of just like, dude, I said to him, I was like, dude, how's it feel to like be the CEO of like the VBA? Like, can you imagine what it's gonna be like in 20 years? Like,
Yeah.
So I have that relationship with him. He's,
There you go.
And do they have relationships with the NBA?
I believe they have some relationship with the NBA Cares program. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
They definitely have something. going
That'll
on.
only grow over time as they get bigger, though.
Right.
Because
no,
the
what-
NBA, loves to work with
Yeah.
leagues
I believe
overseas
last
and try to
summer,
make it more of a global game.
Danilo Gallinari and
Yeah.
Willie Cauley-Stein went to go visit the Saigon Heat and did
Oh,
the whole
okay.
NBA Cares program.
Damn.
Yeah, so they definitely involved.
Yeah. Good
Big
stuff.
moves, yeah.
Big moves. So, is that it? We wrapping it up?
Well, did we bring up the dunk contest?
Oh, no, we didn't bring up the dunk contest.
Aaron Gordon got robbed.
Aaron Gordon got robbed for the second time. 2016, he got robbed against Zach LaVine.
All Aaron Gordon bettors should deserve a refund.
Yeah.
Facts.
So he announced that he's not participating anymore. He's done for his career because he got robbed twice. And he did. He did get robbed. I mean, the one against LaVine in 2016 was close. I think he definitely got robbed the other night. I don't even think
Yeah.
it was...
I think Zach LaVine won the first one. He got
Yeah.
robbed the other night, though.
He got robbed the other
100%.
night. That dunk off the side of the backboard where he scooped it and did the 360.
Yeah, the precision.
That was the best dunk of the
That
night.
should have won the whole thing.
That was the
Yeah.
best
That was
dunk
the
of the night.
statement. That was the best dunk I've ever seen probably in my life.
Yeah, honestly,
Name a better dunk.
I can't. Like
You
I,
can't.
my favorite dunk contest performance was Vince Carter in 2000.
Oh, that was epic too.
But that dunk the other night was probably better than anything he did in that. I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. Blake Griffin over the car was good, but
Nah, he jumped over the hood.
over the hood, exactly.
It
I remember
wasn't-
being mad about that. I was like, if you're gonna
Nah.
jump over a car, you gotta go over the actual.
Dwight
car.
Howard
same.
doing the Superman. That wasn't even that great.
That was overrated because he didn't even
That
reach
wasn't-
the rim. He just threw it into
right,
the hoop.
Right. That wasn't that great.
Right.
I can't recall a better dunk. than
Nate
what I saw.
Robinson won 3.
That was a good one.
But he shouldn't have
actually.
won 3. I think
When he jumped over Dwight Howard.
Iguodala got robbed.
I don't remember
Nate
that one.
Robinson robbed Iguodala one year. But
I don't think I saw that one.
I
See,
feel like
these might be the years before I knew about basketball.
might be.
I didn't start watching till
Gerald Green was the last Celtic to win it.
the cupcake.
I concede.
No, that
don't
was when he
know
was on the
these.
Timberwolves.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
So,
certainly not versed on the history
oh,
of the dunk
oh, no.
contest.
No.
I definitely am not.
I'm a
wish
big
I
dunk
was.
contest guy.
Yeah, shame me in the
Oh,
comments.
but shout out to Pat Connaughton, Massachusetts
I was
own.
about
Oh,
to say,
yes.
second motion, that was unbelievable.
Yeah.
He's like, oh,
So
let me just
Pat
stick it
Connaughton,
up here.
I did
and put
not
it
get
down.
that in real time, and then he was like pointing to the backboard and like explaining what he did.
Oh, it
and
looked
I
so
was like,
confusing. It was
yeah,
like,
I
what
was
did
like,
you
what?
just
And then they
do
showed it
there?
in slow motion. I was like,
You could
He
almost
jumped over
see that as a
Giannis.
mistake. Like, it's
Yeah.
like, oh, did he mean to be smoother about that?
Yeah.
No, that was on purpose. That was nuts.
yeah. But no, shout out to Connaughton. He did his thing. Massachusetts own
Yep.
Catholic Conference,
Just about to say St. John's.
St. John's
Damn,
Prep.
Viz.
Yep.
Don't
That-
get confused.
that
It's
could have been us.
Shrewsbury. Yeah, could have been us. What's St. John's got that BC High don't got? I don't know, actually. I don't know
Is
what
that all
the
Pat
facilities-
Connaughton.
Is that an all boys school too?
It is, yeah.
It is. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
They're also the Eagles. So we
They're
all-
in our conference.
Oh, they're
right?
the
Yeah,
blue
yeah.
Catholic
Eagles though. They
Conference.
blue,
yeah.
right?
I think so, yeah, because
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was. I remember we played them once, and I could hear the other team cackling at how our jerseys said like
No,
Eagles
we went there.
across.
We
them.
went to St. John's. It was crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
Our
Yeah.
JV team sophomore year. That was insane.
No, they were competitors. I mean, they were always. That was a high level school as far as sports
Actually, their
went.
facilities kills ours.
Really?
Yeah,
Their
yeah.
facilities is ridiculous.
Well, 'cause
Actually, what am
they
I
had
saying?
boarding and stuff. I think kids could live there.
Dude, they had people watching the games on the.
So that's how they
tracks and
recruited Pat Connaughton.
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
Yep. That was the sour right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, BC High is still better. St. John's is pretty good. Shout out St. John's, I guess. Shout out BC High.
Yeah, big shout out PC High.
CM Zavarian, you're all right. You're all right.
Nah, yeah.
Nah.
They're in the conference. I'm just saying they're all
No.
right.
We don't have to shout everyone out.
They didn't get shout outs. They just said they're all right.
Yeah, okay. So yeah. So yeah.
So yeah, I guess that is our wrap up. Thank you for gracing us.
With your presence.
No, thank you for having me. It's an honor being here.
Absolutely.
Love what you guys have
Absolutely.
been doing.
Appreciate
we
that.
love what you've been doing. We're happy to hear your story. We're happy to share it to whoever will listen. I mean, like I was saying, definitely needs to be a book. Check that video link. We're gonna
Yeah, we'll drop the links. All
yeah,
the links
both
you
links.
need.
Definitely, guys.
Yeah,
Definitely. Thank you.
More to
Thank you
come.
again.
we'll get you back on that court.
Oh, for sure.
Yes.
Definitely want to show it to all high schools out there. Anything's possible.
Any social
Anything
media?
is possible.
Anything is possible. Impossible is just a word.
Aly Tran me.
Exactly. I'm gonna trademark that.
Yes.
I told myself
Absolutely.
I was gonna trademark that in Vietnam. So maybe one day.
There you go.
Might as well file it up.
There you go. All right.
Any plugs? Do you have any social media you want to plug, or any
Aly
organizations?
Trade Me, Hardwood Jungle.
Hardwood Jungle.
Hardwood Jungle. Is that-
Subscribe to their YouTube.
Yeah, yeah.
If I ever do go back, I'm number 24 for life.
Yes. Shout out Mamba.
Mamba mentality. Let's go Celtics.
Let's
Come on.
go C's.
Tom Brady, stay with us.
Yes. Don't
Please.
leave Tom.
Don't do that.
Boston's Big Four.